Hello, my name is Alexandra Janelli with Theta Spring Hypnosis out of New York City. Today I'd like to talk about induction techniques that can help you relax yourself, because you can actually walk yourself through some of these techniques, but also that can help you with your clients or when you're just having fun with your friends. When you go to hypnotize someone, I want you to recognize that hypnosis is in fact an overload of the mind. And what that means is you're actually beginning to tap into a lot of different senses and sensations to overstimulate the mind so that it kind of peaks out and then drops into the hypnotic state, which again, if you've listened to my videos, you know, is the state between awake and sleep. So if you can fall asleep, technically you can be hypnotized, and everyone gets hypnotized differently. Now, what I want you to begin to think about is when you are hypnotizing someone, going through the induction techniques is the most important part of the session. You need to make sure that that person is relaxing, because the more you relax, the more you have the key to unlocking the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind listens very differently than the conscious mind. It will feel at times like you're not listening at all, because in fact you technically are falling asleep. But your subconscious mind, it has no logic. It doesn't actively process the information that's being given to it. It just hears it. So when you're relaxing the body, you really need to get into the kinesthetics of it and the feeling of what relaxation feels like. Now, relaxation, when you feel it, is going to feel very heavy. Your body's very relaxed. It's kind of like if you've ever tried to pick up someone who's sleeping, they're very heavy. There's no tension or tightness in the body. So you really need to tap into the body. Now, in each and every one of my sessions, what I really do tap into, one induction technique that I use of many, and you can use a variety of different ones through the session, is the progressive relaxation. Now, a progressive relaxation will start from the tips of the toes and work all the way up to the top of the head if the person's laying down. If they're sitting up the way that I am right now, you're going to start from the top of the head and move down. So an induction technique that you can utilize would be maybe a warm blanket. You could have them begin to visualize or think about that when they get into bed at night, what it's like to draw the blanket up over the body. Now, when you're putting someone through the induction techniques, it is important to go slow. There is a time distortion in the hypnotic state. What feels like 5 minutes can actually be 20. It's the same thing when you sleep, right? It's kind of like you time travel. So you have to go slowly. Otherwise, the person's going to miss half of what you're saying. It might take them time to feel something that you're talking about. So the person might not be able to visualize what a blanket would feel like going up the body, but they could imagine it, or maybe they could visualize it. These are all three different types of learning of the subconscious mind. And just because someone can't visualize in the conscious state, your mind, when you go into the subconscious state, does start to produce images and stuff, just like when you dream. You wouldn't necessarily consciously or logically be able to produce those images, but in the subconscious or the unconscious sleep state, your mind might be able to and can. So go slowly. Move over the ankles, up over the shins, moving slowly and calmly, how good it feels to relax. Let the body feel heavy. And when you're working in induction techniques, heavy might not have any context for someone. It would feel heavy would work for someone who's a very direct learner, maybe type A personalities. You have to hear how they talk to you. Are they somebody who's very direct, or are they metaphorical? Metaphorical learners, you will have to create a relative scale of what heavy is. Heavy like a bowling ball, heavy like a car, heavy like you just were glued to the chair or bed that you're resting on. That makes it relative to them so they can begin to understand it in context. Now, you continue to move that up the body, and that's the progressive relaxation of the body. Other types of progressions that you can use is imagine breathing through your toes. Tie in the breath. Breathing is the one thing that helps us relax. Think about it, we're animals. We have the fight, flight, freeze response.
When you go into that anxious state, when you breathe, you're turning on your parasympathetic nervous system. Tie your breath in. Imagine what it would be like if you could breathe through the tips of your toes, each one of them, creating a passageway like lines being drawn down each toe, and then the line being drawn up the leg. This is like a new channel for the body that you can begin to tap into, like tree roots, how they move water, nutrients through the body. You also can begin to move energy and calmness through the body. Other techniques that you can use, numbers are finite. People understand numbers, that counting down means going deeper. Counting up means bringing something up. Think about a thermometer. Thermometers, they're numbers. When it gets colder, the numbers go down. When it gets warmer, the numbers go up. What if you could have a thermometer scale for stress? Going down, bringing it 10. Tie in the breath with the number. So as they inhale and let go, that's 10. 9. As they do that, when you think the word when you think breathing in, think the word relax. As you exhale, let go. 8. Relax and let go at 7. Allow it to be nice and slow. Allow the client to guide the process. I tend to stay away from imagine your favorite place because it has an association already in the mind. Sometimes it can be very beneficial. Other times the mind can begin to tie in some past memories that maybe the client doesn't want to tap into. So the more obscure that you can make it, maybe a cloud coming out of the sky. What would that be like if you could feel a cloud under your body? Because once your body's relaxed and you begin to go into the hypnotic state, it almost will feel like in the deeper hypnotic states that you're floating just above your body. Your body's heavy and your mind is clear. What would it feel like if you could just float above your body? If you could almost just feel like here in the center of your forehead, you could almost just be drawn out of the body, to leave your body to be heavy, and yet your mind very light, because what's happening? Your mind's clearing. We're making space for relaxation. Other techniques that you can utilize that can get the eyes to begin to move, because remember, when you begin to enter into the somnambulistic, heavy, deeper parts of the hypnotic state, the eyes do begin to move side to side, up and down, and then eventually they roll back. So you can begin to elicit the rolling back by saying focus here, right on the center of your forehead, like it's a screen, that you could watch things, that you could imagine, to get the eyes going if they haven't rolled up already, a feather floating down out of the sky, how it can just go with the flow. It can go back and forth and back as it slowly begins to go deeper and deeper. What about throwing a rock? You know that a rock is heavy. When you throw it into water, though, it makes a splash. You might watch the ripples. At first, it might sink quickly, but then it slowly drifts down into this whole underwater world that you had no idea was even there almost. It's like the subconscious mind. There's a whole world below your conscious mind. What if you could begin to take stairs or an elevator? And I will say, beware, there are a lot of people who are claustrophobic. You will not want to use an elevator induction if they are afraid of elevators or tight spaces. You will not want to use water for someone who thinks they cannot swim or has a fear of open water. So know your client, know what their fears are and phobias. You know, the elevator, imagine that you were in an elevator and you saw B for basement. What if the elevator kept going even deeper to this whole world that you had no idea existed? How would that feel? What would that be like? What about stairs? Everyone knows stairs, that at the bottom of stairs is a doorway, that each step that you take down relaxes you more. And the more that you go down these stairs, and you can count them with the breath, the more that you go, the door begins to open because the key to the door is relaxation. Or if they are visual learners, what would it be like if you could just go to the most beautiful, calming place to just let go? How about the pause button? Press your finger together. It's as if everything all around you just stopped. And it was time for you to get in touch with your body, to scan your body. Where are you holding tension and tightness? Because stress and relaxation, they cannot coexist. And wouldn't it feel better to be relaxed? And the only way to relax is to let go. So tie in breathing. Breathe. Relax and let go. Breathe into those places where the tension is. Is it a knot? Is it a stabbing feeling? Is it tightness? Loosen it. Unravel the knot. Use metaphors. Use visionary. Let it go. Blow it away. Like a cloud, dark clouds in the sky. Blow them away. It's much easier to feel the sun when the clouds are gone. What if you could control the clouds or the waves on the beach? How would that feel? What would that be like? It'd be enjoyable, wouldn't it? And so I want you to begin to think about, there's many ways to induce someone. You can do an eye fascination, have them open their eyes. Stare directly ahead. Stimulate the eyes while having them breathe. At each exhale, their eyes can get heavier. Wait for the blinking. You'll see their eyes glaze over. They're overloading. Each breath, as you listen to the sounds in the room, you might notice the smell. Each exhale, the eyes can slowly lower down till they close like a window shade in a window. These are techniques that you can use to relax the client. You can use all of them, or you can use one of them. You tailor your approach to the client, not the client to you. Have good rapport with them. Let them know what's going to happen before you even do it. There's no surprises in hypnotherapy. Tell them what you're going to do. We're going to relax the body, relax the mind, and then you're going to enter into the hypnotic state. Let any thoughts come in that you might have, because slowly they're going to quiet down. If you can fall asleep, that's the challenge, truly. You've already gone through the hypnotic state. At that point, if they do fall asleep, you will notice the breathing shift again. The awake state, the breathing is like this. In the hypnotic state, though, the breathing is very shallow. That is how you know they are going to the hypnotic state. Very shallow. And then the sleep state is a rolling breath. You will guarantee you will know if they are sleeping. They might even snore a little bit. But you might elicit a nervous reaction in the hypnotic state, at which point you will notice their breathing picking up again. But that's okay. Just calm them. Say they're in control. Just let go. Relax. Fall asleep. That's absolutely the process, because a client can kick themselves up to a lighter state going, oh, I'm not listening. But they're not supposed to. The subconscious mind listens differently. The logical mind is the part that's saying, I'm not listening. So reassure them. Tell clients they're doing great. They're doing exactly what they need to do. That's exactly right. Feel it. Let it go. These are all induction techniques, and you can be as creative as you want. Listen to the client, how they talk. Do they speak like the weight of the world is on my shoulders? Are they very direct in what they tell you they want? Find out what they want. They bring you the ingredients. You bake the cake. That's how it works. Work smart, not hard. My name is Alexandra Janelli with Theta Spring Hypnosis. Have a wonderful day.